I remember the text like it happened yesterday. 3 words that made my stomach drop. We need to talk. It was sent at 1:03 a.m., and I stare at my phone, heart hammering, thinking it was a joke, some late-night impulse. But the tone, the hesitation behind it, made every nerve in me tense. I hadn't been gone long, just a short business trip. And here she was, my wife, my supposed partner, sending something that smelled of trouble. The night before, she'd gone to that work party I had reluctantly encouraged. "It's just a networking thing," she'd said, slipping into her black dress with that effortless ease I'd always admired. I had kissed her cheek, felt her warm hand brush mine, and thought, everything's fine. But as the hours passed, something shifted. My calls went unanswered. Her text responses became delayed, clipped, almost mechanical. One line, a single emoji, nothing more. I told myself I was imagining it. Paranoia fueled by distance. When I finally arrived home the next morning, the house smelled the same. Fresh coffee, faint perfume lingering in the air, the subtle disorder of a night lived without me. I found my phone charging in the kitchen, and there it was, a string of messages from a number I didn't recognize. Names and faces blurred together, but the words cut through like glass. Flirty, intimate, and unmistakably her. My hands shook as I scrolled through. She wasn't careful, not enough. Every laugh, every whisper caught on a device I had secretly placed days ago when suspicion first gnawed at me. I'd told myself I was crazy, that love wasn't about spying. But the signs had been there, vanishing for calls, unexplained moods, and the way she now avoided eye contact. And then I watched the video. The footage started innocuously enough. Her standing with colleagues, wine glass in hand, laughter that used to feel like music to me now twisted into a soundtrack of betrayal. But soon, the moments I feared the most appeared. Her leaning too close to a man I didn't know, his hand brushing hers, her head tilted in ways only intimacy could explain. I could see her smile differently, touch differently, act differently, with someone else. I felt every memory of us constrict in my chest. The morning she brewed my coffee just the way I liked it, the quiet nights on the couch, the promises whispered in the dark, they all felt like rehearsed lies. My love, my trust, evaporated in the fluorescent glow of her betrayal. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to wake her from whatever spell had possessed her. But instead, I sat in stunned silence, letting the evidence etch itself into my memory. When she came home, her smile was the same, but I saw it for what it really was, hollow. I confronted her gently at first, voice brittle, trying to hold back the storm. "I saw everything," I said, almost whispering. She froze, then laughed nervously, as if the sound could erase what I'd already witnessed. "I can explain," she started, but the words felt rehearsed, a weak shield against the truth. I didn't want excuses. I wanted honesty. The rational part of me tried to reason. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. But my gut, every nerve in my body, screamed otherwise. Tears welled up in her eyes, and I could see her shame. But that didn't erase the sting. I saw the conflict in her, the part that regretted it, the part that wanted it anyway. And in that duality, I understood something painful. People are messy, love is messy, and betrayal doesn't always come from malice. It often comes from weakness, desire, confusion. I packed my things slowly, deliberately, not out of anger, but necessity. I needed distance to breathe, to remember who I was without her. She followed me to the door, hand outstretched, voice trembling. "Please, don't go," she pleaded. I looked at her, really looked, and for a moment, a flicker of what we were lingered. Then I shook my head. "I have to," I said, and stepped out into the crisp morning, leaving everything familiar behind. The days that followed were a blur of self-reflection, of replaying our years together through a lens of painful clarity. I realized love is not always enough when trust shatters, and that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. The party, the laughter, the wine, they were all symbolic, the moment when illusion collided with reality. Weeks later, I sat in my apartment, sunlight spilling over the floor, a quiet strength settling in my chest. I wasn't angry anymore, not truly. I was just awake. awake to the truth that some chapters end not with dramatic confrontation, but with the slow, steady reclaiming of self-respect. I learned to cherish honesty over comfort, solitude over false intimacy, and the quiet, unshakable knowledge that my life didn't end with a betrayal. It began anew. Her memory still lingers, but it's no longer a wound. It's a reminder. That night at the party, the choices she made, and the courage it took for me to face them, it all taught me something irrevocable. The hardest lessons in life are the ones that teach you who you really are when everything else falls apart.